guys, Zoid Bergenstein here, covering the best non-broadcasted matches of this WGLNA season. Today we're looking at a match between the Cunninghams and Hammertime in round 1 of WGLNA Season 4 Gold League. This match took place on Tuesday, December 9th, so if you want to go back and grab these replays or look at the results ahead of time, feel free to check that out on the WGLNA website. Looking at the team comps, we see 3 5100s, 2 IS3s, an IS, and a T29 for the Cunninghams. A little more aggressive than we saw the Hammertimes on defense with that extra 5100, so let's see how that works. On offense, on the other end, Hammertime running 2 5100s, 3 IS3s, and 2 ISs. So they do have that extra static firing tank in the IS3. They don't have the extra autoloader in the 5100, and we'll see how that plays out. No tanks from Hammertime are moving down the 0 line like we saw the Cunninghams do. Instead, they're opting to move all tanks probably down that 8 line. I expect to see some of their tanks move the 8 line, get ready to set up for that push. Some of their tanks will probably move down the 3 for another flank like we saw Commander J try and pull off in the last round. If they don't bite on that flank, you're going to see something similar to what happened to the IS in the last round happen. That IS went down, he really didn't get much damage out, and it set his team up for failure. If, on the other hand, they can make the team bite and they can come in, you saw Commander J put out huge amounts of damage, unloading his entire clip into the back of the enemy team with almost no reaction because they were so focused on the 2-cap. The Cunninghams currently set up like most teams on defense in this map, with most of their guns looking for that 5 or 7 line peak. Like I said in the first round, if one of those tanks comes out, overextends at all down that 5 line, you have a massive number of guns ready to shoot. You see, the Cunninghams have opted to not put a second tank in the A4. Instead, they have another tank watching that A-B line ready to shoot. And it looks like they actually have 5 guns ready to shoot any tank who peeks over there. Referencing round 1, I talked about a 5-line punch that I see most teams running on this map. The 5-line punch is exactly what we're seeing Hammertime do here. They're going to move most of their tanks to the 5 line, they're going to sacrifice one of their ISs, and try and get those tanks into the A5. It's very similar to what the Cunninghams did, but instead of moving their tanks down the A line, they're going to cross. Now, this defense, and this is one of the reasons Himmelsdorf is so hard to attack on, has 5 guns ready to shoot that first tank. It's almost guaranteed to die. But if they can get onto the cap, and they can do a good job defending that cap, it forces the Cunninghams to push into them, and they have a chance. Something that surprises me here is you don't see any tanks going for the flank. All 7 of Hammertime's tanks are ready for that 5-line punch trying to push on the cap. Normally, I would expect to see a tank watching 3-line trying to get that flank damage in and getting some extra stuff that you won't be able to get if everybody pushes from the 5. Overlord Prime taking the position on the 6-7 line, where he's going to be side-scraping, trying to get some early damage out into the other team. And again, notice how precise these tankers are being. They know that one shot can turn the tide of a battle, so they're taking very safe peeks. They're going to move out, they're going to try and get a shot at the command hatch and not take one in return. If they can get that penetration from an IS-3, that's a lot of damage. That can really turn the tide of battle later. So it's very important to be able to put damage out sometimes while not taking it in return. When you're looking at this Gold League level play, you're going to see teams and players do that on a level that is really fantastic. Overlord Prime last round managed to get 2 shots into the enemy team without taking any damage in return. This round he's done a good job not taking any damage, but he hasn't been able to return any damage, and it does look like this 5-line punch is starting. The IS moves in front, Nitz takes 1 shot just like he's supposed to. We get Leapstad going through, Leapstad takes 2 shots, gets tracked moving. Nit going to the A4 corner, the Militant is probably going to die in there. Nitz manages to make it in without dying. Great job there, Big Cheese takes a shot, and Militant is going to go down here, but can we get more damage out? Leapstad takes 1 more shot, and he does go down. We have 1 IS3 dead for the Cunninghams, and a great job by Hammertime getting on this cap, getting lots of damage out. We have a 5100 within 1 shot range, and IS3 with lots of damage, and the Cunninghams are going to have to push into Hammertime now. Shots continue to be exchanged as A4 copy hold. Tanks on both sides taking a lot of damage. Big Cheese just took a couple too many there. And we actually see a 5100 and a T29, Tyreme and Dodoma moving through the courtyard. They might be able to get shots on those tanks on cap. If Photo Finish gets back on or Drynitz gets back on trying to push the Cunninghams into them, Dodoma's going to be there to launch some shells into their back. He actually gets 1 into Photo Finish, and they will have a difficult time returning fire on Dodoma because he has that fountain for cover. And this is really a great defensive play coming out of the Cunninghams. The fact that Hammertime did not have a tank to watch the flank down that D-line means that they have effectively pushed them off the cap. There is no safe place for Hammertime to get on that cap where they're not going to be pelted by tanks. If they try and take cover from the T29 and 5100 over there, they're going to get shot by the IS-3s over on the west side of the map. If they try and take cover on cap from the IS-3s, the 5100 is going to be able to take shots on them. Now, it does look like Overlord Prime has moved into a decent side scrape position. He's going to try and get some sort of advantage back for this offensive push, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Dodoma in his 5100 moves to rejoin the rest of his team on the 3 line, and it looks like the T29 is going to be looking down that 5 line, continuing to get resets. Although, no, he is actually turning. He's going to be going down the 6-7, and this is significant because he can turn around and get behind that IS-3 and get that reset. With only 2.5 minutes left in the map, 1 or 2 resets is all the Cunninghams need, because keep in mind, in 754, you do not have to kill the other team out. If you're on defense, all you have to do is prevent them from capping. And it does appear that he's actually going to move down the 8 line. Moving down the 8 line is going to keep him a little bit farther away from the rest of the tanks, probably give him a little bit better of an angle where he can get 1 reset hide and not completely sacrifice his tank for that reset. We're now seeing a little bit of a shift coming out of the Cunninghams. They know that all they have to do is get these resets so they can survive a tank. Commander J is going to be playing in the very back of the map. He's moving along that G line. All he's going to have to do is survive. The rest of the team can go in and brawl, take enough time and die slowly so they get the resets. They make it absolutely impossible for Hammertime to cap, and Commander J just has to escape and stay alive. It's almost like the draw scenario in 742, where you don't think that you can win, but you know that as long as you keep 1 tank alive, you can get that draw. The difference is, and there is the reset from the T29, the difference in 754 is, for the defense, that's no longer a draw, that's a win, so they'll actually put a point on the board. And that reset is huge. You actually see Hammertime now. They know that they just got reset. They will not be able to cap, so now they're pushing into the Cunninghams. And this is perfect for the Cunninghams. They have escaped so many tanks, there is just no way that Hammertime is going to be able to hunt them all down and get the kills before time is up. Hammertime making their push through the AB line. They have to get these kills quickly. We see Dodoma coming from behind in that 5100. If he can get some damage off here, this is going to be huge for the Cunninghams. They're waiting for him. 2 shots going to be within 1 shot range with a high roll. He'll die. He gets shot, but no, he does not die. 48 hit points left. He continues to sling damage. There's 1 more kill for Dodoma. He's got 2 in this encounter. Overlord Prime needs to get a shot off him. He does. Overlord Prime gets that kill on Dodoma, but the Cunninghams have done what they needed to. Dryden's getting another kill, another tank up there. With 2 tanks left for Hammertime. What a great exchange for the Cunninghams. That T29 really should back away. No, he goes down. Overlord Prime picking up a 2nd kill. And it looks like even though Hammertime probably came out a little bit ahead in this engagement, they simply will not be able to hunt those tanks down. With A. Martin hiding up north and Commander J down south, in 25 seconds, they simply will not be able to catch up to both of those tanks. Overlord Prime heading for A. Martin and A3. He's going to be able to pick up that kill. A. Martin gets 1 shot off onto him. At this point, that really doesn't make much of a difference because there are going to have to be shots going out in that 5100. Nitz does end up picking that kill up on A. Martin, but Commander J, 6 seconds left, has hid in the southern side of the map, and it doesn't matter what happens here. The Cunninghams have locked up this incredibly close round on defense. That gives the Cunninghams a 2-1 lead over Hammertime moving into this. As I've mentioned so many times before, Himmelsdorf, a very defensively sided map. So tune back in tomorrow and we'll see if the Cunninghams can hold out on defense one more time or if Hammertime will be able to tie this match up 2-2. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoy these shoutcasts, subscribe on YouTube, like the videos, leave comments. I always try and get back to them. If there's a match that you guys want to see, tweet me at ElevateZoid. Make sure you follow that as well. And check out all of our sponsors over at www.elevate.gg. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for the next round of intense action in the WGLNA Gold League.